Hi, hello, and a very warm welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to build, launch, and grow a business online store. Now, I'm actually going to give you an e-commerce business blueprint on how to build, launch, and grow a profitable online store. Now, the future of e-commerce is incredibly bright. But starting an e-commerce business is hard work and demands many steps and decisions that need to come together at the right time. To help you, I've put together a comprehensive blueprint for starting an online store. The first step is choosing a product. That is the first step. The first step to building an e-commerce business is knowing what products you want to sell online, wholesale, or direct to consumer. Now, this often is the most challenging part of starting a new online business. Finding a product to sell. Now, how do you find a product to sell? I'm going to delve into this further by explaining to you in details the strategies for finding your first profitable product opportunity. Now, there are a number of strategies for finding your first profitable product. One of the biggest challenges aspiring entrepreneurs face is finding profitable, trending products that will sell, whether it's a single product or a full product line that occupies a niche in a market. Coming up with product ideas is admittedly a little tricky, and the importance of selling a product people want can actually leave even the most motivated people stuck in analysis paralysis. It often feels like everything you could possibly sell is already being sold, not to mention the reality that there will be plenty of competition in the most popular product categories. Fortunately, there are still golden opportunities out there. Proof of this being new products successfully launching all the time. Now, to help you get started, I've put together a short list of practical ways to find products to sell in your online store. The first one is to solve a customer pain point. Now, what does that actually mean? Solving a customer pain point will always be an effective way to develop a product people want. Abstract customer pain points, meanwhile, are usually about addressing poor or frustrating experiences with the current selection of available products. It's worth paying close attention whenever you notice common frustration with an existing line of products. Being keenly aware of the pain points and small annoyances you can come across, that you come across in everyday life could be just what you need to come up with your next profitable product idea. Another strategy is think about appealing to enthusiastic hobbyists. When consumers are passionate about a particular trade or hobby, they're usually more inclined to invest money to get the exact product they want. This willingness to pay can be an important qualifier when evaluating the potential opportunity of any product or line of products. For example, golfers are well known for investing hundreds or even thousands of dollars to lower their score by a few strokes. Additional benefits can include high levels of engagement and loyalty with your brand, as enthusiastic customers are generally more involved in the industry and get more value out of the products they purchase. Now, the other strategy that you could use to find a product to sell is go with your personal passion. While there are inherent risks in choosing a niche based on your own interests, it certainly doesn't have to be a recipe for disaster. Using your know-how to create and position a unique product can be extremely profitable. Now, the other strategy that you could use is consider your professional experience. Now, has working in a particular industry helped you learn the ins and the outs? Now, maybe you have a skill or a particular set of experiences that makes you more knowledgeable than the average person on a particular topic. Turning your expertise into your online business is a smart way to enter the market with a leg up that isn't easy for others to duplicate or copy. Another strategy to find a product to sell is capitalize on trends as early as possible. Recognizing a trend early enough can be a significant win for a new business. It allows you to carve out a place in the marketplace and establish yourself as a leader before others have a chance to. And thanks to the nature of digital marketing, your paid spend will probably be lower and opportunities to build long-term SEO traffic may be more abundant. The key is to not confuse a fad with a genuine trend. A fad is something that has surged into the limelight based purely on novelty or a gimmick. While fads can present great marketing opportunities, remember that if you build your business on a fad, the demand will eventually fizzle out. A trend, meanwhile, is something that fulfills an existing need in a new way, which is why their demand holds for much longer than a fad. The sixth strategy that you could use to identify a product to sell is read customer reviews on existing products. Now, whether you already sell products online or not, there is a wealth of insight you can glean from customer reviews. If you already have an established online store with a bit of traction, you can see what customers are saying about your existing products. Are there any trends or interesting bits of feedback you can use as inspiration to develop your next product? Now, pay special attention to shortcomings and complaints being shared. If you don't currently have a store, just have a look at customer reviews for other brands and products in the industry you want to explore. What wish list feedback is being shared about potential improvements to already successful products, for example? What add-ons or additional products do customers consistently bring up? If you're not sure of the industry or product category to explore, consider a specific demographic and focus on brands and products that those individuals gravitate towards. The seventh strategy is finding product opportunities in keywords. It's no secret that the organic traffic from search engines is an important marketing channel. Searching for keyword opportunities means strategically looking for a product based on the search queries people are using, the number of searches per month, and overall competition for those searches. This approach can be fairly technical and requires intermediate understanding of key research as well as search engine optimization. Now, the advantage is that pairing product demand to existing keywords can be an effective way to capture consistent organic traffic from Google, for example. But it comes with its own set of risks, namely that if you rely on search engine traffic, you'll be overly exposed to changes in Google's algorithm. The eighth strategy that you could use to identify a product to sell online is litmus test before you launch. As I've shared before, real product validation only happens when money changes hands. So you can't be sure you're onto something until people swipe their credit cards. However, securing some level of interest and investment from potential customers before you ship is undeniably valuable. Even great products can flop when they launch to no one. If you already have an idea, but you're not quite ready to invest heavily in it, minimize your upfront investment and test the market by building a landing page to promote your potential product, with a way for interested customers to leave their email and run a few paid ads to drive traffic to it, really. Of course, there are a variety of factors that will determine the success of your campaign, but any level of initial traction says something. You may, at the very least, want to consider investing further in your idea. The ninth strategy that can help you identify a product to sell online is browse what's trending on online marketplaces. If you prefer to sell products on your own online store, you can still gather inspiration by checking out what's popular and trending on other marketplaces. Now, browse sites like Amazon, Etsy, and eBay, and browse lists like what's hot, most wished for, and other categories that showcase current customer demand. Okay? Now, the 10th strategy that you can use to identify a product or products to sell online is research products with higher profit margins. Products with little overhead provide a low-risk way to get started because it's easier to attain higher profit margins compared to products that are more expensive to produce. When pricing your products, you need to account for the total resources that you've put in to sell the product or your cost of goods sold. You have to factor in not only how much it costs to create the product, but also how much it costs to promote, hold, and even ship it. Look for low-cost items that can generate a high return on investment. Remember, lightweight items will be cheaper to ship. And just because a product is inexpensive to purchase wholesale, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't turn it over for the highest return on investment. The 11th step to help you find the right products to sell is start your research with related products. Do you have any existing interest in a particular industry or product category? Check out related items or products that customers frequently purchase together in that niche. Amazon is a useful resource for this, as there are several locations where the site displays product affinity. Also, the last strategy that I would give you on identifying a product to sell is always be on the lookout. One of the most straightforward strategies you can implement today is to keep an open eye and an open mind. New ideas can pop up at the most unexpected moments, and it's important not to dismiss any chance at all. Keep a list in your smartphone or with a pen and paper to refer back to later when it's time to conduct marketplace for your product idea. So I have given you 12 strategies that you can use to find a product to sell. Now that you know that step comprehensively, remember, I'm giving you ideas on how to build, launch, and grow a profitable online store. And like I pointed out earlier on, the first step is choosing a product. And I've given you 12 strategies on how to do that. Now, once you have done that, then the second step is evaluating your idea. Once you have a product idea in mind, how do you know if it will sell? In this section, I'm going to cover a few approaches that active entrepreneurs have used to validate their product ideas and potential market. Now, one of the most important aspects of starting a business is validating that there is a demand for your products. There is nothing more discouraging than spending your time and energy creating a product that you think people will love, only to realize that there is no interest when you launch. Now, the first step on validating your business idea and validating your product ideas is ring the cash register. Okay, let me explain. The first and arguably best way to validate your product is to prioritize making a new initial sales. Nothing is more important than customers seeing the value in your product and exchanging money for it. Remember that while talking to potential customers is an important part of building your business, until people pay you, all you have is a list of assumptions. Market research, surveys, and feedback from friends and family can point out or they can point you in the right direction. But real product validation only happens when money changes hands. The second way that you could validate whether your products are going to sell is by conducting competitive analysis. Research can be useful when you're still in the idea, stage or searching for a product to sell. Exploring the current market can also help you mitigate risk and build confidence in your idea before investing too much time and money. My second suggestion is that you should evaluate the market for your products as it stands today to ensure there is enough demand to build a viable business. And one way to make sure there is a healthy market to sell to is to look closely at your direct competition. Find out what they're doing and how it compares to what you're planning to do. If there are competitors out there, you'll at least confirm there is existing demand for what you're selling. Businesses that don't make money don't stay in business. It's that simple. So learning about how long your competitors have managed to stay in business and roughly what their trajectory has looked like can provide some rough validation that this is a market you can successfully sell in. Remember, not to get discouraged when you see competitors that have already grown big businesses. The fact that they exist will give you a good sense of whether what you're offering is unique or different than what is there currently in the market, which can point you towards untapped opportunities or help you figure out what to focus on going forward. The easiest way to discover your competitors is really a simple Google search, folks. You can also check out hashtags on Instagram or Pinterest, for example, or run a quick search on Facebook. And if you're new to social media, don't feel too shy to ask a person in your life who's savvy for a little help, You can also check out your competition's social media to see how engaged their customers are with their posts and products. It's a great way to check out negative feedback as well about a product and see if you can find a way to improve. The third way through which you could check if your product is actually going to sell is by doing, researching the existing demand. A third strategy, this is really a strategy, the third strategy that I'm going to give you, to validate your product and its market, to analyze demand and search volume. Now that you know more about your competitors, let's really take a closer look at interest from potential customers. The easiest starting place is to go to Google Trends. This really it's a free tool that allows you to see how often people are searching for the product you're selling. Knowing where the market is going can help you make a more informed decision, and using Google Trends lets you see if you're dealing with a trending product that's on the upswing or it's a stagnant product category. The last thing you want is to jump into a declining market. Now, another tool that you can use is Google's Keyword Planner tool. Now, this tool allows you to search for keywords and phrases related to your product, and then displays the total number of searches for each of the terms you choose. The fourth way through which you could validate whether your product will sell is by starting a crowdfunding campaign. Now, a crowdfunding campaign is a helpful, proven option to see if there's demand for your product. And one of the benefits of a crowdfunding campaign is that you have a firm timeline, and it requires all of your focus and effort to reach your goal. If interested in running a campaign, it's important to find the right service for your launch. Kickstarter, for example, could be a good platform that you could use, though there have been many others that have popped up in recent years. Just do some research to ensure you have the right platform with the right community to launch your product. And definitely try to talk to people who have run successful crowdfunding campaigns for tips. The fifth way through which you could validate whether your products are going to sell is by meeting customers in person. Now, another method, this is a method that I can confidently recommend, is to sign up for a craft show or local market. Now, it is so helpful as it provides a convenient way to gather quick, first-hand feedback from potential customers. Selling in person has the added benefit of a strict deadline that you need to take action by, which is why I personally really love this. This deadline acts as a forcing function that pushes you to get your products ready and to get yourself ready to sell them. Once you're able to meet in person, you'll benefit by getting to talk to potential customers, seeing their initial reactions to your product, and finding out if they are willing to spend money on the product. Search for markets and craft shows in your area to find the ones that fit well with your brand and product, and consider having a set of questions ready to ask customers, such as their preferences on color and flavor, and what, if any, competing products they might currently be using. Finally, test different price points to see if there is a certain price that works best for your product, especially when you are in the early stages. So far I have given you enough details on how you could go about validating whether your product will work. Remember, so far we have looked at two major steps that are involved in building, launching, and growing a profitable online store. The first one I said is choosing a product, and I gave you strategies on how to do that. And the second one is evaluating your idea, and I've given you a number of strategies on how to do that. Now, the third step is obtaining your product. Now, after landing on a strong product idea and validating it, your next step is figuring out where and how you're going to obtain your products. I'm going to delve into this, especially on how to find reliable manufacturers and suppliers for your products. How do you find a manufacturer or supplier for your product idea? Now, If you've been thinking about starting a business, you may have brainstormed some ideas of your own, like capitalizing on one of the many in-demand products already on the market. However, many entrepreneurs find themselves hitting a brick wall when it comes uh, to actually sourcing products. Now, whether you plan on manufacturing something of your own or finding suppliers to purchase from wholesale, good products aren't always easy to find. Now, I'm going to try and give you ideas for some places where you could search and examine how you should approach suppliers and what to ask them when developing a product for your e-commerce business. Now, first of all, you're probably asking, what is a manufacturer? A manufacturer is really any business that produces finished goods from raw materials. They sell these goods to consumers, wholesalers, distributors, retailers, and other manufacturers wanting to create more complex items. Now, is a manufacturer a supplier? Now, suppliers and manufacturers are pretty much synonyms. And there are a number of steps that you could take once you decide on finding manufacturers or suppliers. Now, let's look at one consideration, which is domestic versus overseas suppliers. If you plan to manufacture or wholesale, when looking for suppliers, you'll need to decide whether you want to source domestically or from overseas. Overseas can refer to any location abroad, really. It's a good idea to secure two manufacturers, one domestic and one overseas. Your local manufacturer can be used as a backup. So if orders from overseas are late or incorrect, you can fall back on your local supplier. And they're often more expensive, but it's better to keep products stocked and customers happy than having them wait for overseas shipments. It's often cheaper to source your products overseas, especially in Asian countries like China, India, or Taiwan, because of lower labor costs. But there is a lot more to the decision than just the upfront investment and cost per unit. Now, when it comes to sourcing domestic, there are some advantages and disadvantages. So it would be good for you to weigh those out as well. As well as the advantages and disadvantages of sourcing overseas. Now, how should you find, where can you find potential manufacturers? Finding a manufacturer for your product can be tricky, but it's necessary to find your products because that's what your business is about. Now, when it comes to finding the best manufacturers and suppliers for your business, you can do a number of things. The first one is to research, find the right manufacturer for your product. Manufacturers control your product's cost, quality, and packaging and shipping. So it is very important that you find the perfect ones. Now, I'm just going to give you some examples of perfect manufacturers that you can rely on. The first one is Alibaba. Alibaba connects you with manufacturers from China. It is a common marketplace to find existing products, but you can also use Alibaba to connect with manufacturers to create custom products. Simply search for the products you're looking for and browse through the various suppliers and manufacturers from their website. You can also use directories. Another place to research manufacturers that is free online is supplier directories. Now, these directories contain profiles for hundreds or thousands of manufacturers, wholesalers, and suppliers. And some examples of online overseas directories are Obalo, AliExpress, IndiaMart, and Sourcify. Another way through which you can find manufacturers and suppliers is through Google, really. In recent years, we've become accustomed to being able to easily search Google and find what we're looking for in the first few search results. However, many suppliers haven't kept pace with the internet and Google's algorithm changes. Their websites are usually old and not really useful. So you can rely on Google to do your searches for manufacturers. Another way through which you could find good manufacturers is through referrals. Some of the best leads can come from referrals. So don't be afraid to ask connections in your professional networks if they have any recommendations or if they know someone who might. Look for individuals who found success in an area you'd like to pursue and see if they're willing to share their contacts. Now, let's move on to the next step on how to build, launch, and grow your profitable business. So, the next step is really, once you have found your manufacturers and suppliers that are going to supply you with the products, and you have obtained the product, the next step is to write a business plan. Now, with your competitive research complete, it's important to write your business plan. A business plan is a roadmap that helps bring your ideas and thoughts together. A business plan is vital in determining what to prioritize and how to effectively reach new customers. Now, how do you actually write a business plan? How do you write a business plan? I'm just going to give you just a few tips on how to do that, because there are many reasons to write a business plan. It's not solely the domain of entrepreneurs who want to secure funding to start or grow their business. A good business plan can help you clarify your strategy, identify potential roadblocks, decide what you'll need in the way of resources, and evaluate the viability of your idea and your growth plans before you start a business. Now, what are some of the steps that you could actually follow to write a business plan? I'm just going to give you 6 steps. The first step is executive summary. Okay. The second one is company description, market analysis. The fourth one is management and organization. The fifth is products and services. The sixth is customer segmentation. 7, marketing plan. 8th, logistics and operations plan. And the 9th step is financial plan. Now, I'm just going to touch on each one of them very briefly. The first one is executive summary. A good executive summary is one of the most crucial sections of your plan. It's also the last section you should write. Now, the executive summary's purpose is to distill everything that follows and give time-crunched reviews, a high-level overview of your business that persuades them to read further. And the second step is company description. Now, clarifying these details is very useful, even if you are the only person who's going to see them. It's an opportunity to put to paper some of the more intangible facets of your business, like your principles, ideals, and cultural philosophies. And the next step in your business plan is your market analysis. No matter what type of business you start, it's no exaggeration to say your market can make or break it. Choosing the right market for your products, one with plenty of customers who understand and need your product, is extremely important. It is a head start on success. Now, let me go further on how to build, launch, and grow your profitable business. What is your next step after you've written your business plan? The next step is setting up your business. Now, When it comes to setting up your business, there are a few things that you should do. The first one is naming your business. Aside from figuring out what to sell, another challenging decision is determining your business or brand name, or deciding on your domain name. Okay? Now, the next thing that is important when it comes to setting up your business is creating a logo. So once you've selected a memorable name and registered a corresponding domain, it's time to craft a simple logo, okay? And then after that, the next step is understanding search engine optimization. You know, you're almost already ready to begin building your e-commerce business. However, before you jump into it, you should understand the basics of search engine optimization so that you can properly structure your site and pages for Google and other search engines. And then once you have done that, you build your store. You know, with a better understanding of search engines, you can then build your store. And there are many crucial elements to consider. For example, choosing your sales channels. And then once you have done that, you prepare to launch. Now, as you prepare for the launch of your new business, there are several shipping and fulfillment elements you need to prepare for, okay? So once you have done that, then you have the post-launch stage, which is acquiring your first customer. You know, once you have launched, the hard work of marketing your product begins. While many new store owners should consider selling their physical products in person, the rest of digital marketing rests on doing one thing well, that is driving targeted traffic. Okay? And then, so it is important to market your store. And there are a number of things that you could do to drive traffic to your store, for example, by advertising on Facebook, on Google, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and the list is endless, really. So how do you build an e-commerce business? As I come to the conclusion, now, the first thing, research what products you'd like to sell or can source to sell. Select a business name. Register your business with the government. Obtain permits and licenses. Choose an e-commerce platform and create your website. Load your products onto the site. Launch and start marketing your business. Okay, so I have given you, I hope, comprehensive information on how to build, launch, and grow a profitable online store. If you found this video helpful at all, then kindly give this video a thumbs up. Share the video with anybody else who may benefit from it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more helpful videos. And while you're there, have a look at the rest of the videos that I have on my channel, because I guarantee you will find more than one video that is going to be very beneficial. Now, don't forget to turn your notification bell on once you have subscribed, because you know this channel is all about money. If it has anything to do with money, I upload it, because my goal is to help you thrive and flourish financially in all aspects of your life. I do the hard work and you grow your wealth. So now, subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and thank you. I shall see you in our next video. Bye bye.